Welcome back to Sideline Shenanigans. We're here in July in the middle of list season.
It's getting me ready for the season. You gotta hate list season, but
You gotta hate it.
we're
I feel like,
rounding the corner. Like August is here almost.
yeah, the Hall of Fame game, which is the first preseason game for anyone who doesn't know, is actually a little later this year, though, which sucks.
Uh,
I mean, not that preseason matters, but the
yeah,
regular season is starting a week late this year, also.
I know, but still, August flies
Close.
by. I don't even count
Yeah, that's
August. I
true.
feel like I'll blink and it'll be there. And
Yeah,
hey,
that's
August
true.
is fantasy draft season too, so that
Oh,
is
yeah.
maybe better than the football season. It's close.
Oh, yes. Listen to the end of this episode. We've got a lot of fantasy takes. We're in the midst of starting a Dynasty League. Shit.
A lot to think about there. No, I'm hyped for
But,
it though. We've wanted to do it for so long. It's nice to finally be
and we
becoming
have
a
the right
real
group.
GM. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the right group. We were smart about who we included. It's kind of three leagues merged together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it'll be the good, like, we picked the best people from all our leagues, basically.
Yeah.
And our good buddy Benny. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, let's get into list season because this was the week. The Jeremy Fowler list came out. We had Colin Cowherd react. So I'm gonna put these lists up so we can talk about them.
All right, we're leveling up here. We got some real graphics. I love it.
So right away they hurt the eyes, honestly. Um, So on the, I don't know how it views, the list that doesn't have a title on is the Jeremy Fowler list, which for anyone who doesn't know, this comes out every season. It's voted on by executives, coaches, GMs, anonymously, and this list is assembled from those votes. I do have a note about that before we start talking about it. And the other list is Colin Cowherd's list. Which he just made as a reaction to this list. So, and he said his list, the Cowherd list, is what he's projecting the rankings will be at the end of this season. About the Fowler list, because I'm sure we'll talk about Mahomes, he did say that Mahomes received the most first place votes, but he put Josh Allen first because Mahomes received more lower votes than he ever had before. But Mahomes received the biggest percentage of first place votes, and Matthew Stafford received the second biggest percentage of first place votes.
It's interesting. I got a lot of qualms with both lists. I will say, just list season in general, it's to me it always just feels like clickbait, and I'm always like, yeah, if
Yeah.
they put up their perfect list, they wouldn't get any reaction from anybody online. So yeah, I mean, lists have. I don't know if there's ever been one correct list from the media
I
at
will,
the end
I
of the
will say,
season.
I do think most people, maybe besides us, would the Jeremy Fowler list would be pretty similar to most people's rankings.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah. How do you want to start this? Where should I begin?
So let's. I'm gonna say the thing about Mahomes because
Okay.
if we're doing a general list, like if we're and I actually got a rubric on the next slide that we could talk about for my own list making.
That is
If
important because it's what are you
yes,
factoring in? That's why I have so many problems with this because there's context required for
for
everything.
every player.
Yeah,
And if you are doing a general list where you are factoring everything, I don't think you can justify putting anyone but Mahomes first. If you are truly doing a general list, factoring in career success, winning,
well,
um,
see,
awards.
to me that would be just mainly the context there is mainly valuing achievements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what I'm saying is that if you're doing an encompassing list, I think achievements
Are the most
should be
important.
weighed heavily.
Yeah.
I think if you're doing a list on who was the best quarterbacks this past season, then Mahomes shouldn't even be on it.
Well, yeah, or
Um,
the past 3 seasons in terms of numbers and stuff. Would he be
I mean,
one? I think that's what we're seeing.
what's tough though is you say the past three seasons, one of those seasons he won a Super Bowl, and he was statistically excellent in that playoff run, but not
Absolutely.
the regular
But then
season.
you see a guy like Dak on here, and it's like, okay, so
Yeah,
he's on here strictly for numbers. So they are valuing
yeah.
numbers so much. Same with Herbert. I mean, pure
our
numbers.
our favorite show, First Things First, put up the Jeremy Fowler list, and the best take I heard is Brew went So they're not really valuing winning.
Exactly. I mean, some people hate QB wins, but that's got to be towards the top for me. Like,
Yeah, that's why I think if it's a generalist, you can't justify putting Mahomes anything but first. But let's say, okay, last 3 years statistically have been down, missed the playoffs this year. I
yeah,
want you to convince me why Josh Allen should, like, I understand Mahomes should move down if you're knocking him for this year, but what did Josh Allen do this year besides lose the division he had a stranglehold on for the last 7 years and have a devastating playoff loss that makes him move up?
absolutely. I agree. I think if you're doing a list, I still am with you. Like, Patrick Mahomes needs to be one. No one's taken it from him yet. But I do
Yeah.
think it is hard projecting next year, which is why Colin's list is interesting to me, because it's honestly pretty favorable to Mahomes to project him at the second best quarterback in the league at the end of next
Yeah.
year. Like, that's
And
surprising to me.
And I, as a fan, I think Mahomes will be a top five quarterback this year. But if I'm looking at it objectively, I think we don't even know if he's starting week one. Like, we assume he's starting week one. So,
Yeah.
like, I do think that, like, if you're projecting it to put Mahomes top five, which is why I don't believe this is a projection. I know
I
it's what
kind of
he
agree.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His team was like, you can't put Mahomes 5 on a list or 6. I'm like, what are you thinking, bro?
But I also don't project Josh Allen to be the best quarterback in the league next year.
I guess for him, it's like he has been kind of for how many of the last seasons? At least, like, I guess maybe that's more a fantasy take. Is like it's been the past 4 or 5 seasons where he's just
Yeah.
at the top every single year. It's like hard to why would he just all of a sudden not be? But I agree. I mean, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the 2 best quarterbacks in the league. Everyone can agree with
Yeah.
that. So it's hard to imagine either of them not in the top 2 on any list. But
My only problem with it again, I understand Patrick moving down. I think Josh has played the most consistently best football over the last 3 to 4 years. I just think this is a weird season to see Josh move up when he had what I would consider maybe his worst playoff loss. It might have been 5 turnovers. I think it was 4. It's 4 or 5 turnovers. Heavy
against the Broncos?
favorite against the Broncos.
yeah, I think it was just 4.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Oh,
4
five
picks.
was CJ Stroud.
Against
4
the
was
Pats.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Against the Pats, yeah. But Josh had that fumble where he basically put the ball on the ground. I
Yeah.
also think there's a few games that they lost to the Dolphins this year. If they don't lose that game, maybe they win the division. You know, it's just like he loses the division for the first time and he gets to move up. I guess for me, I just value winning so much. The only people, and this is going to be a hot take, the only ones I want to hear an argument that you can put over Mahomes would be Darnold, Hurts, or May. Like, those are to me, I'm like, make that argument. Like, those guys have
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, I
So-
agree. You can't do Hurts anymore. I don't think. I wanted that to be true, but no, he's fallen off too hard. I think we'll see this
I
year.
got
Maybe,
Hurts on
like,
my tiers.
Maybe the AJ Brown stuff was in his head, and like Hurts will have a much better year than last year, and with a new
Okay,
OC. But
you know how much of my breath I wasted arguing with you about Hurts, and then Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl the exact same way Hurts does, and you're like, oh no, both of them carried by their team.
no, Darnold. I mean, I get Darnold being in top 10s now. Like what he did was impressive, but I don't know. I'm still for the tush push. I still don't think you should ban the tush push.
So looking at both these lists, top 5, let's start like zooming out. So we agree with Josh and Mahomes. We might flip the order, but 1, 2 in some way. I think Stafford at 3 or 4 makes sense to me. I think both of them have Stafford in the right range. Again, maybe like for this moment, but not for a year from now.
Won the MVP. Great year. I agree. Like, what do you do with Stafford? Because he's at the very end of his career. So, like, I don't mind just putting him at 3, honestly.
And just knowing next
I
year
have
he
more
won't
of a
even be
qualm
on the
putting
list.
Caleb ahead of him. Yeah.
I have a huge qualm with putting Caleb at 3. As I sip from my Chicago Bears cup, actually in Chicago, these are actually sick. Grace found these at a vintage shop, old
Those are
soda
lovely.
cups.
I like that.
But I love the Bears. I'm going to 3 Bears games this year, but I think Caleb was a playoff riser. I think he played very well in the playoffs, which it would be to me his main argument for being in the top 10. But I still think his completion percentage, his easy throws, you just like there's some really bad tape out there putting him at 3's a little rich.
Now, as a projection, to defend Colin, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are a Caleb Williams believer, like, yeah, why should he not have the best season of any quarterback in the league next year?
I mean, yeah, he's basically a combo of Josh and Patrick. So like,
yeah, that's his expectations too at first overall pick. Like he was hyped up. He was such a like letdown his rookie year, just because people had these expectations of like they should probably go to the Super Bowl right now. So,
but if this is a projection, take Stafford off before.
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
But no, I think Caleb. I have him hovering more in the like 7 to 10 range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, we'll get there, but I'd take J-Lo off of this list and put.
I mean,
Caleb Williams around there.
That's the name that hurts to look at. You're like, what?
Ahead of me, man? What are we doing?
I mean, I wouldn't put Goff ahead of May. I wouldn't put We'll just get into Drake May now. The lowest I would feel comfortable putting Drake May would be 6, and that would be if you were a really strong Lamar and Burrow believer. I just don't think. I think that, and to me, I would lean more towards 4 or 5.
Have Lamar up in the top 5.
I think
he's missing from this list altogether, which is a crazy.
He's not on Collins, but he's on the executive list.
Yeah.
The Fowler list. I would if I had to rank them, and we texted about this, and we'll get to it, but I kind of see it more as tiers right now. But if I had to do a 3, 4, 5, 6, I'd probably right now go Stafford 3, May 4, Burrow 5, Lamar 6. So I lean, and like if Joe Burrow has an amazing year, maybe he pops up, Stafford falls off, But no, I think the lowest you could argue putting May is 6. The only people I would feel okay putting above him would be Patrick, Josh, Stafford, and Joe and Lamar because of their past success, even if that's not how I would rank it. But I think 6 is the lowest you could argue.
Yeah, absolutely. As a Patriots fan, I don't mind this being out there. I mean, I
hope they put it in the locker
Drake
room.
Sees this graphic. I'm sure Vrabel will show him. Like, 10th? Basically, I mean, one vote away from MVP. One shitty Justin Herbert vote away from MVP.
Well, the Drake, on the executive list, he's 8, which I still think is too low, looking at who's ahead of him. Because 8, I think 8 was similar to where Jaden Daniels was after his amazing year. So if you look at it like that, it's not super disrespectful. But then seeing Dak and Herbert above him, it's like, yeah, I can't stomach that.
Yeah, I can't. On a projections, sure. Like, if you're projecting Justin Herbert is going to have the best season of his career with Mike McDaniel running
which is likely
a version of the Shanahan offense, like, that's what I was listening to some show, I think The Ringer Fantasy, my boys, and they were talking about how this is the best quarterback, best talent by far that has ever run the Shanahan offense.
That's true.
Like, we have never seen a guy that with Herbert's ability in this offense.
It's usually like a Kirk Cousins or a Purdy.
Basically. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, it could be, there's some record-breaking numbers out there. And I kind of hope so. Like, I don't fully root against the Chargers. I feel like they always blunder and choke, and Herbert had so much promise. But currently on, like, what we've seen and what guys have accomplished list, I can't stand Herbert over May anytime I see it. I'm like, we saw this in the playoffs. What are we talking about?
Here's my problem with Herbert being so high, and specifically over May. I mean, high in general. I felt like last season we went through this, right? Last summer, flashback a year. Everyone's like, okay, 2 bad playoff performances. You've got Harbaugh now, and you still can't get it together. Like, we got to lower him. And then this year happened, and people are like, well, another, we just gave him another chance. Now this is the year where it can't happen again. So 2026 playoffs, which will be in 2027, he has to do something. This year, he finally has to do something.
Yeah, I agree. And every year it's going to get harder and harder for him. 0-3.
Yeah, you're right, because he is 0-3 in the playoffs because it was 2 with Harbaugh and 1 before Harbaugh. And the Patriots' loss this year was super bad, turnovers, 3 points. But the year before against the Texans, in my opinion, was almost, if not equally, as bad. Both you were favored in, both you're going against a younger QB, and you just can't get it done.
100%. Also, like, thinking about it, think about how Drake May has gotten killed to some degree for his performance in the Super Bowl. Imagine if instead of winning 3 games and getting to the Super Bowl, he scored 3 points and lost to Justin Herbert. Like, he's not on any of these lists if he does that. And it's like, oh, well, Herbert's proved it in the past. And it's like, no, he hasn't. He's lost every important game he's played.
I disagree with part of that take. And part of this is like, I think Mahomes' reputation would have been better losing a shootout to Josh Allen instead of getting blown out by the Eagles 2 years ago. I think that, like, the way the media reacts to that second place, even though you still have to win more games than everyone else to get there, is pretty harsh. I actually think Drake May would be higher if he lost to Justin Herbert in round 1, and partially because people were so ready for Herbert to win one, and then also because then the last memories of Drake May would be that Jets game where he had to sit. So I disagree with you. I think Drake May would be higher if it wasn't for the blowout.
No, I disagree with that. I think, like, as good as the regular season is, people are like, when I have conversations with you, it's like, oh, at least you went to the Super Bowl. Like, I do think in the moment and this offseason, that's probably true. But after this, like, media cycle of this offseason, like, it is going to be so much better that he also, I mean, like, 0-4 versus, it could be 7 years and Herbert would have played in as many games as May has already played in. Like, it is that experience where, like, you got to see it first. Now he knows what it takes, and hopefully it goes that way. But
I do just think there's generally a second place, like, recency bias where guys get knocked.
Totally.
But you're right. In a year, even in 3 months, it'll be huge that Drake moves out of Super Bowl because, I mean, look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has made the playoffs 2 times.
Totally.
2 times.
In terms of, like, we were talking about it with Stafford for a while, but when you get to the Hall of Fame conversation, like, May still has to go win a Super Bowl, but winning one Super Bowl isn't enough. It's like, oh, he won 1, went to 3, or whatever. That's like what Stafford has. Or like, if he could have got there, it's like, oh, then he would have been to another one at least. And like, I do think that does come into play and gets remembered, but it's tough to get blown out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I felt this way, like, last year, where I was like, I really think if we had lost a shootout in the AFC Championship, like, people would have been less hard on Patrick.
Totally. Yeah, I agree with that.
We both agree May should be higher and Herbert should be lower. I mean, yeah, Herbert, the only reason to me he hangs on is because of the physical attributes and the eye test in the regular season.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
A guy I kind of want to talk about who I do not like on either of these lists. And I'm sorry
You're going to say, like, Dak.
No. Well, okay, yeah, I don't like Dak on this list. I think that's ridiculous. He's ahead of May. What are we doing? When was the last important game Dak was in? I remember Jordan Love beating him in the playoffs. That's what comes to mind.
Thanksgiving against the Chiefs. Thanksgiving against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I just... no, like, regular season MVP maybe, but...
Okay, you're going to say Goff.
Yeah, Goff. I feel like watching the games this year, I remember us kind of low-key being like, do they have a quarterback problem? Like, why is St. Brown not getting the ball a little bit more? Jamison Williams, St. Brown, Laporta, best running back in the league,
best
arguably.
Offense in the league.
Incredible offensive line. And, like, it just wasn't quite clicking. Could have been OC, right? They have a new play caller coming in. They fired their OC, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, like, maybe it was that, but I just don't know. Like, even for Colin, projected top 8? I think they'll be good, but he won't be the full reason, I don't think. I don't know.
Well, off of the projections, you know who the 2 easiest schedule in the NFL is? The Lions and the Bengals. So I do think both those offenses could be fantasy cheat codes because of how I think that they'll get some easy dubs and some garbage points.
Makes sense.
I think that Goff... I think Joe Burrow is the best pocket passer in the league. And I think Sam Darnold might have passed Goff as the second.
Mm.
I think if I were starting an NFL team right now and I could have Sam Darnold or Jared Goff, I think I would pick Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think I would too. After watching this year, I don't know. I feel like
He's
he fell this year. I'm surprised to see him on top 10 lists after.
To me, Goff is yeah, it is crazy that he hung on to the reputation wise,
Yeah, I
but
guess so. Like yeah.
he's like a better version of Kirk Cousins and a worse version of Matthew Stafford. Is Goff?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the classic comparison because they got traded for each other, but
Yeah,
they both. I mean,
I
he's been to a Super Bowl. Like Goff, don't get me wrong. I love Goff. I root for the Lions. I just
he's
feel
a good
like
guy. Yeah.
yeah, and he's has been amazing in the past. I just feel like moving forward, I anticipate a little bit less from Goff than we've seen historically.
He's only a year older than Patrick and Josh. Like, Patrick's 30, Josh Allen's 29, I think Jared Goff's
Yeah,
31.
but
But
Patrick and Josh, they're the like part of their game is extreme athleticism, and like it just feels like they're gonna age a little bit better.
then
But I guess
Goff.
he doesn't run as much as them, so maybe he's actually doing fine. I don't know. Maybe it was the
Yeah,
play caller. I could eat my words. I hope it was that, honestly.
I think Jared Goff is a top 15 quarterback, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's a top. I don't. I think putting him in the top 10, especially off of this year. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I just strongly disagree with it, but I also think that like they could have an insane year. But to me, Jared Goff is a little bit on the Jalen Hurts trajectory, which we can talk about, but
Mm,
like Hurts just has a loaded offense around him. Goff just has a loaded offense around him. Where it feels
totally.
like if some of these top guys had those resources, like it wouldn't even be a competition. Um,
Totally.
yeah, I think this to me that looks more like a Lions offense ranking than a Goff ranking.
Yeah. I would agree.
Um,
Where
I don't think
I'm
there's.
I'm
No,
curious
you go.
where you think Caleb should be. I know we kind of talked about him, but where like that's the biggest discrepancy of a guy who's on both lists. It's hard for me
I
too
think.
because I do anticipate an incredible season, but
I mean, I think he's closer to 10 than 3.
hmm
I I have my tiers I'll show you,
do you
and I
have Caleb?
believe the
Okay.
I believe he's in the like tier that would be 7 to 10
Do you have Caleb over Herbert?
in the same tier. But
Interesting.
if I were
Is it
doing
left to right in your tiers?
no, I don't. If I were doing a list, I would put Caleb over Herbert. I think.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, do you have him over Herbert?
I think Herbert will have a better year this year than Caleb Williams.
I mean, I
But
was
I
just
think
looking.
Caleb, like, if I was starting a franchise, I would take Caleb,
Oh
obviously.
yeah, I mean, I think Justin Herbert might be like one of the best MVP bets on the market right now. It was like plus 1,000
Mm,
or plus 1,100, and he's got. I mean, he's got the Mike McDaniel boost, and we've never seen someone this good with the Mike McDaniel boost or in the Shanahan system, as you said earlier. So I think that's a pretty nice bet.
yeah.
But my thing is like playoff riser. That's like something I'm valuing throughout this list, which is why I'm almost tempted to put Joe Burrow at 3 or 4 sometimes because of how good he is in clutch situations. Caleb was not great this regular season, but he was amazing in the playoffs. So it's like, what do I do with that?
That's true. We haven't discussed Burrow at all. My issue with Burrow is kind of what we were talking about. Is he still in the top 5 because like he
He went to a
hasn't
Super
lost
Bowl.
a playoff game in the last 3 years because he hasn't been there? Like, is he benefiting from not being in big games and missing the playoffs and
Yes.
being injured? Yeah. Like, otherwise, I don't know. It's been a while since we've seen Joe be good in big games. I
Joe
know he
Burrow's something.
can be, but
He has a crazy playoff record too because he lost to Mahomes in the AFC Championship and he lost to Stafford in the Super Bowl, and besides that he won every other game up to those games. So he must be
totally.
like 5-2 or something crazy, maybe
Yeah.
6-2. Um, I mean, my thing about Joe Burrow, I was just listening. Steve Spagnuolo, Chiefs DC, he says the hardest QB he plans for is Joe Burrow.
Mm.
He's just so I I think he's more accurate than every other guy on this list. I think if they were doing a target competition, he wins. I think he's not as athletic as Josh or Patrick or Lamar or Drake, which to me is a knock, but he might be the most pure passer in the league. I think he's really good in the playoffs. It's just he's only been there twice. So how much longer can we say he's really good in the playoffs?
I agree, and I'm fine with it, I guess, because it is true. Like, who stepped up and won a bunch of big games? You know what I mean? Like, there's really no one who's like can take his place yet. I agree. I mean, I have Drake May over Burrow now. I would have Drake ahead of Burrow in both of these, I think. But I'm obviously a fan, so a little biased. But
I expect Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow could have like an MVP season this year. If I were to place another MVP bet, it would probably be Joe Burrow. So maybe that means I think he's having a better year than most of these guys next year. But I also think do you want to be with the Hunt family and Andy Reid? Or do you want to be in the Bengals? Do you want to be with Mike Vrabel and Robert Kraft? Or do you want to be at the Bengals? Like, I think other guys have more longevity in front of them because of their infrastructure.
Totally.
The other guy, kind of in a similar vein, who I am more open to knocking down than Burrow. God, Burrow has great PR. We don't talk about like Herbert, but Burrow has great PR. Is Lamar, who came out in the NFL Top 100 list, like
that's the list that's not
70s. 70s?
Was it, or was it late 60s? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But it's more that like there's a lot of QBs we haven't seen yet who are gonna be ahead of him.
Yeah. I struggle with that. That feels like
it's too far down.
Yeah, what? No, yeah, I disagree. But it is tough. I mean, you got Harbaugh fired. I guess a lot of players, it sounded like, have come out since then and like weren't vibing with Harbaugh, but I don't know. They're so like disappointing so many years for their expectations going in. I mean, favorites to win the Super Bowl, missed the playoffs last year. Like, I do think people just can't take it anymore, almost. Like,
they have not been the same since the Chiefs beat them in their building in the AFC Championship. They have not been clutch. That defense was playing way weaker. That was like, they were so heavy Super Bowl favorites that year that I think just the balloon popped, and that's what ended up getting Harbaugh fired 2 years later. Is that that was a pretty bad game from Lamar. That wasn't even competitive.
Totally. It seems like Colin is with them.
He's off.
It's so interesting. He used to be such a Lamar Jackson defender, I remember. Like, he always loved Lamar's passion and like love for the game, and always was kind of defending that he wasn't the best passer. But
if Lamar was a stock, would you buy it right now? Because
honestly,
Lamar,
I think so a little bit. For like,
really,
I think he's so low right now. I just think there is something to be said for, like, your coach got fired. Like, okay, now you got to work hard for the new guy. Don't let him get fired. Like, I don't know. I would have liked him better with Max Crosby, I think, but
yeah. Here's my thing about the Ravens. First off, Jesse Minter, I think he's going to be a good head coach, good defensive minded. I don't know how that works offensively, but I think their defense will be good again. They got Declan Doyle as their play caller, who's never called plays before. It's a little risky for a Hall of Fame quarterback in his prime, but is Lamar in his prime? I think Lamar, his rushing has been cut in half. He isn't good enough when defenses are expecting him not to run, he isn't good enough within the pocket to overcome that. What makes him so good within the pocket is the fear of his rushing. I think he's had enough injuries and he's so athletic that he is like a trending down stock.
What are his injuries, though? Like, he hasn't had like ACL.
The one he had in the Chiefs game, what was that, hamstring?
Yeah, I guess that's true. He hasn't had major,
He's injury prone, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He's missed time in 3 major seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
My other problem with Lamar is, I'm pro-union. I'm pro-players union. I'm in a union. I'm pro-union. I know that the players union says you don't have to be at these mandatory things. I think, though, point to a quarterback on this list who wasn't there besides Lamar. Patrick Mahomes is there every year. Josh Allen is there every year. Dak, who for all of his flaws is considered a pretty good leader, he's there every year. Herbert got attention because he wasn't there. I think you're not winning. Something's not working. Maybe show up to these extra practices.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think we'll see. I could totally see that. It seems like what the media, people in the league are thinking is like his running's not the same and his passing game will suffer. But I just don't know. Coming out with that low of a ranking, like, what if Lamar just balls out? Like, is like, you know what, I'm going to run more than I ever have before. And if I get hurt, I get hurt. And it's just like a torpedo. Like, I could totally see that happening too.
I mean, I still think he should be on this list. And I think 5-6 is about where I'd put him. But I also... I wouldn't be shocked if they missed the playoffs again. I probably won't pick that, but I mean, I've got a nice Bengals to win the North bet on FanDuel right now.
Nice. I guess you're kind of low on both of them, or maybe not Herbert so much. Who you got, Herbert or Lamar?
Lamar.
Lamar's still higher than Herbert, but you think Herbert might be an MVP candidate?
But I would take Burrow over both of them, But I think Herbert and Burrow are two guys who are very likely to win the MVP this year, partially because of media voting. But I expect Burrow to have a really good year. They revamped that defense. They have a better schedule. Their hardest games will probably be their division games. So I expect Burrow to have a really good year. I just could see the Ravens struggling in the same way I could see the Bills struggling. New coach, lots of things going on. You never know.
Totally.
The last guy that we haven't talked about is Darnold. I like him where he's at, I guess. I'm fine with that. Somewhere between 7 to 10.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, he only made Colin's list. It's hard. I mean, I guess it's almost similar to May for me, where it's like, it's hard to knock a guy for having an incredible season and winning, what did he win, 18 games in the end? Or like, won the Super Bowl, but it is kind of like we've only seen it 1 year. I think that's like a lot of people's knock on Drake. It's like, we've only seen it 1 year. So
I've seen it 2 years from Darnold.
Okay. I guess winning before this, Darnold, it was like he can't win the big game. He won 14 regular season games in Minnesota, and then
that was an awful.
Got smoked. Yeah.
I mean, I was not hot on this last year. This was your take that I argued against. I think Kevin O'Connell's a bad playoff coach. I was just rewatching the quarterback documentary when they were really good, and that was a game they also should have won when the Giants beat the Vikings in 2022, and that felt like some coaching things. And there was a lot of discussion around his coaching at that Vikings game that they ended up losing. I think Darnold was amazing with the Vikings. I think it was a generational drop by the Vikings. So he's had 2 14-win plus. Yeah, he's had 2 seasons in a row where he's won 14-plus games.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. He deserves to be in the top 10, I think. Like, 100%. I would I'd honestly put him ahead of Dak at this point or Goff.
Yeah. Here is,
so maybe I'd have him 8.
Let's get to my tiers. So I made a rubric. This is ChatGPT helped me make a rubric. Career accomplished, and it's 100 points because that's like what teacher rubrics are. 30 points for career accomplishments and teen success. That is 30% of the weight. Recent play, 15% of the weight. Individual stats, 15%. Physical traits, IQ making, clutch performance, longevity and consistency, and the eye test. So we don't have to read all these things chat made for me, but that is sort of how I'm weighing it. I'm weighing winning as number 1, and then the next group of stuff that I'm weighing, because winning is 30%, and then recent play and individual stats together is 30%, so I feel like that balances out.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff is more scouting.
Okay. Yeah, my issue is with this rubric, I feel like Aaron Rodgers has got to be on the list. 30 points there for career accomplishments.
Aaron Rodgers has as many Super Bowl wins as Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, how many MVPs, though?
Okay, 4? That's fair. I think that it's hard to do the old guys, but this is how
Yeah,
I'm thinking
totally.
about it because I know in
Yeah,
all
no,
of
I
our
like it. I like it.
this is more for you than the audience, to be honest, because, and this is a great episode to do our video, by the way, but I'm talking about career success, recent play, individual stats, physical traits, football IQ, clutch and playoff performance, longevity, and then eye test. Those are the categories we got in front of us for audio listeners. Um, this is sort of more for Cole though, because we get into arguments all the time about he's like, well, what are we ranking with this quarterback list? Are we ranking this year?
100%.
Are we ranking next year? And this is my way of putting into words that I'm ranking everything.
Okay. Yeah,
But I care
it's
about
helpful to
wins.
have a little visual. Yeah.
So, but I just did tiers. So I'm gonna read off my tiers for everyone. Emma's tiers, and this is the top 15 guys. Tier one, Mahomes and Allen, pretty obvious. Tier two, Stafford, May, Burrow, and Lamar. I didn't mean to make that in order, but that's probably the order I would put it in. Tier three, Caleb, Herbert, Darnold, and Hurts. So
It's
tier
also in
one
order.
through um maybe. so, so tier one through tier four is definitely not in order.
Okay.
That would be the top 10 guys, tier one through three. And then tier four, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Jaden, who let's hope he's doing better, Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff. Those are my top 15 quarterbacks tiered.
Yeah.
Tear
I
it
guess
apart.
the one I want to start with, yeah, is maybe I just got convinced about it through our conversation, but I don't know if I can have Lamar on the same tier as Stafford and May anymore.
And Burrow?
Burrow, I get more because he's been to a Super Bowl, and like you said, like he might just be the best like pure passer in the league. Still, it's just
Yeah.
I guess 3 years in a row. Like I don't know. It's hard for me. What are people gonna say about May if we miss the playoffs the next 3 years in a row? Like I don't think he will be on these lists, and like.
I
I
don't
don't
think he'll be
think
on the list if you miss the playoffs next year.
exactly. So like it's just hard for me. Like Burrow is a darling, darling. I don't know. I would take Lamar and Burrow, if anything, just to motivate them. Take them off that. Like, do they deserve to be in the top? Neither of them were in the playoffs this last year.
So you're adding another tier, a 2.5.
I'd honestly be fine with them on tier 3. Like, I think
Okay,
Caleb
wow.
might be as good as Burrow and Lamar, or maybe bring Caleb up to Burrow and
You
Lamar's tier.
so you would put Caleb. You asked me this. You would put Caleb closer to 5 than you would 10.
I think so. I have him right there. I think especially, I guess my rubric would have a little bit more of like this next year. Like I'm interested
projection.
in the present, not projection,
Yeah.
just like the current landscape. Like today, where they
that
are.
favors
Yeah,
Caleb and Herbert.
definitely, yeah.
I think that
I agree.
favors
Yeah, maybe
Burrow though
moving,
too.
or maybe just keep tier 3 and move Darnold and Hurts to tier 4, and Burrow and Lamar
Yeah.
to tier 3.
I had trouble with the last two guys I wanted to include in the top 10, and you know what my tiebreaker was? Did you win a Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I had
come on.
I had Caleb and Herbert for sure in tier 3, and then originally I had all those guys together: Darnold, Hurts, Love, Baker, Jaden, Dak, and Goff.
Yeah.
And I just was looking at it, and I was like, well, it'd be really nice to do a clear top 10 tier separation. And I was like, well, you know what? These two won a Super Bowl. Let's just they're the 9 and 10.
100%. I think that's very fair.
Jalen Hurts has not been on any of these lists. You were a big Jalen Hurts guy last summer.
Totally. I mean, this year was a lot. And again, it could be a similar thing to Goff. Like, or it's just what happens when your offense is bad. But again, the OC got blamed for a lot of it and has departed, and there's a new play caller coming in. So, like, all that stuff, like, there is a very likely chance for either of those players. It's just like, oh, they're great again. You know what I mean?
I put Goff closer to what happened with the Chiefs. That were like sometimes like we didn't have great play calling this year, but you would see Mahomes make plays. You still saw his talent. I still think you saw a lot of talent on the Lions' offense. I felt like a lot of the Eagles' stalling was directly related to quarterback play.
yeah, I would agree with that. And honestly, the thing that gave me the biggest ick is like similar to the eye test, but just I hang out with a lot of Eagles fans, and they're not really big Hurts fans. It's like, oh, they
Really?
get pissed at him all the time. Yeah, they don't like love him the way you kind of would expect. It's like, oh, if
The
their
way
fans
we
don't
love
even...
our guys.
Yeah, so I think it is like he can be just exhausting to watch at times. And kind of
Well,
like the narrative was he did his own thing kind of to some degree. Like he wouldn't do all the plays that they wanted him to do. Or
well,
like,
the narrative is he doesn't like to turn his back to the defense. He doesn't like to go under center. But the OC they brought in is gonna run the Shanahan system, so that he's gonna be doing both those things. But if he trusts the play caller and he lets them open it up like that, I think the best system for Hurts would be the Shanahan system, way more than like a West Coast Andy Reid system.
totally. Yeah, I agree.
So what's your final critiques on these tiers? What do you agree with tier 1?
Yeah, I agree with tier 1. I kind of think Stafford and May might be in their own tier.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 MVP finalists. Yeah, and Stafford
Good
is
eye test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I moved Burrow and Lamar to tier 3, and I moved Darnold and Hurts, I think, to tier 4. But that
What
is
do you
tough.
think about
like Darnold and Hurts should not be on the same tier as Baker. I might kick Baker off. Just the way he declined
I knew you were
hard
gonna
at the
say
end of the
Baker.
year. Second half of last season makes me nervous.
He was the MVP frontrunner for the first month of the season.
I know.
I just finished season 3 of the quarterback, which I will say season 3 is not as good as season 1 and season 2 because nobody in that season makes the playoffs, so it's a lot of talk, not a lot of football. Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough.
But it made me love Baker even more. I mean, he's just so likable, and he played through a lot of injuries. And there's injuries that I didn't realize that, like, I watched all the videos like him getting body work. His throwing motion and arm was directly impacted by these injuries, more so than like a Lamar injury to the hamstring. I think Baker should have sat out, and he says in the documentary that like he'll play through it until he falls off, which is a great mentality. But reputation wise and team wise, it probably would have made sense for him just to sit.
Totally, I agree with that. Maybe you're right.
I would have had Baker top 10 before this year. I love Baker, and I think when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, the look on him was a lot better going into this season, I think. And you're right, maybe playing through injuries and this, but he also lost Mike Evans, so...
Yeah. But I like Ibuka.
Yeah, I do too.
To me, Baker and Dak are my 11 and 12 in the tier 4. Love, Jaden, and Goff are towards the lower half of the top 15 to me. I'm really low on Jordan Love. I don't understand the love for Jordan Love. And Jaden, for me, it's just the injuries. I would put Jaden higher if I could trust him to stay healthy.
Even with the injuries, have him a little higher. Like, I kind of believe in Jaden being good still. I mean, I think around... Yeah. 10 through 12 is fine for him. He needs to do it again. Yeah.
I mean, I said this in the last episode. I'm picking the Packers to miss the playoffs. I'm down on Love. Yeah.
Be surprising. See if Micah can get out there.
Mike is definitely not getting out there. Okay. That was our quarterback talk because you know how it is. We had to do our own list. We had to critique all these stupid fucking lists that are disrespecting our guys when we're going to be right back in the AFC Championship. So these lists can go on and shove it.
It's good though. You want your guy to be inspired. You never want to see your guy won. You never want to see him.
Mahomes was interviewed last week about it, and he said, it's good motivation. Yeah, great clip.
Oh yeah.
Let's switch gears a little. Let's go on we're going to do some fantasy football for you guys. This has been a hot topic. I feel like our fantasy content gets the most engagement out of anything.
It's the best. Everyone misses it. It's this. I feel like I'm having withdrawals. Honestly, the season ended and it was like, okay, thank God. Like, I need a break. Jesus Christ, Lord. And then, a month goes by and it's like, fuck, damn it. But here we are. We're around the corner. I'm excited.
Before we get into some names we want to throw at you guys, where we said this at the top of the episode, we're starting a Dynasty League. What are your thoughts, Cole, as we prepare for this Dynasty draft? Cole's at the 3 spot and I'm at the 4, so we're going to have some fun sniping each other.
A lot of fun. It's interesting. It truly is a lot to think about in terms of the strategy. Like, I think people will have different strategies going into it. I do expect, it's an 8-man, so... It's small, we all should be loaded up, but some guys are going to have bad teams, I think, by accident. And like, if you switch your strategy halfway through, like, do you go young? Do you, like, how young is too young versus like a guy with like 5 years left of his career? Like, it's hard to think about the landscape. And it's just like, if I reach on young players, like, I could have a team that's good for the next decade and like not even need to worry.
Well, yeah, what you said about being an 8-man. The hardest league I ever played in was an 8-man, which was a couples league before you joined it was 8. That was tough, and you think you leave. Everyone's gonna leave this dynasty draft thinking their team is insanely loaded. Every single person is gonna leave it being like there are some mocks where I had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I was like, what? At the 4 spot, but as I've done more mocks from the 4 spot, once you get to around 10, 11, 12. ADP to me, throw it out the window. Just go get the young guys you believe in and veterans to give you a floor for this year.
See, that's where, like, the hard part is predicting the, like, 5th round and 6th round rookie offensive players that are going to be good in 2 or 3 years. The, like, Bishal Tutins out there, and they're like, these guys are all of a sudden an RB1, maybe. Like, what are we doing?
I think Tootin is going to be a hot pick. I think Manungai is going to be a hot pick.
Yep.
Yeah, all these guys, Ollie Gordon, all these guys who showed flashes last year.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you.
For me, I don't normally think about QB and tight end so much, but I think I'm going to be thinking more about it.
Honestly, for the listeners, that confused me a bit. I was like, there's only 8 of us. We're all going to have an amazing quarterback, but it is like May was, I think, 9th on the big board. I was like, that feels crazy to me. I get it because he's so young, and I love May. Don't get me wrong, but like that early in a quarterback that early, that feels crazy.
In most mocks I've done, Josh Allen and Drake May go the first round. Yeah,
I guess that is for the next decade.
I will not be taking a quarterback top 10. I'm saying that right now.
I think so too. I'm not either.
Yeah. And Joe Burrow often is at our round 2 pick, where you and I will both be, is the suggested pick, which does not make sense to me injury-wise. I could see Joe Burrow having a fall in our league, to be honest.
Yeah. Or I'm going to go quarterback with my first 10 picks and then just trade them out. Or hoard first-round picks. Take Caleb, Drake, Josh.
Caleb goes late in these mocks. I don't think he'll actually go that late.
No, I don't think so.
The way I'm approaching this draft, more so than any other draft, and you love this thing, you love to say it jokingly, but go get your guys. This is your team for the go like this. I don't like rooting for the Bills. I will not be targeting Bills players. This is a team you have to live with 365 days, 24/7. Go take your guys.
Go get your guys. Get your guys. Yeah, that's the classic fantasy take. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, right?
You're so right. 100%. This is your team for a while. You don't want that, he fell to me, so I'm going to reach. Don't take the guy that fell to me that you don't like. I agree.
This is too smart of a group of fantasy players to not be reaching sometimes. And also, being in the middle, I'm super comfortable reaching because worst comes to worst, just 6 players go off the board. We're both in a great draft spot for an 8-man, I feel like.
I think the hardest position to draft is going to be tight end. Just because
I think the hardest is going to be running back.
I'm not going to go Brock or Trey McBride, I don't think. It's just...
They won't make it to us, according to the mocks.
Okay.
If Brock makes it to me, I'll think about it.
With your first pick?
With my second pick.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So he'd make it to us with our first pick, but no. Gotta go RB. God, you think I could get Bijan or Gibbs at 3?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think...
I'd much rather Gibbs.
I was texting... I was texting by a year. I was texting Sammy, who's our number 2 pick.
He'll do something
he's a guest on the
stupid.
show.
He's
he
so
told
bad
me
at picking his first.
I think he's going Josh.
Okay. He won't watch this either. He won't see this. Don't clip this.
I think he's going Josh. I texted him. I was like, I bet you're going Josh. He's like, oh, I do love to go Josh. Because here's here's the thing. He likes having Josh Allen in fantasy, and if you're at the front of a dynasty draft, Josh Allen is not making it back to you for your second pick.
Who's won?
Ben.
Okay. Benny will probably
He'll go the rankings. He'll go the rankings.
Yeah, which is...
Depending on what you're looking at, either Bijan, Gibbs, or Jamar.
What's it right now on the sleeper board? Do you remember?
I think it's Bijan.
Yeah, okay. I'd rather Gibbs, I think.
But ESPN rankings, it's Jamar.
I don't want Jamar, I don't think. It's just like if Burrow gets hurt, all of a sudden you're like, ugh.
I'm taking the best available out of the top 4 who get to me. So either Jamar, Bijan, Gibbs, or Jason.
I'm taking Gibbs or Bijan if they're on the board.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way.
Jamar Chase every year would be nice. It is crazy every year. Like, maybe it does make more sense to get the receiver, but Jamar's older than both of them by a bit.
Jamar's 26.
24? No, Gibbs is younger than that. I feel like.
I've just been looking at their ages. My take right now, though, is I'm loving.
Oh yeah, 24.
I'm loving the wide receivers at the front of the board. And this is how I'm feeling in redraft leagues as well. The only round 1 running backs I'm excited to pick this year would be Gibbs or Bijan. I'm not like super excited to draft McCaffrey or Jonathan Taylor, and definitely not in a dynasty.
In a dynasty draft, yeah, like I'd be pretty excited to draft Jeremiah Love or the number 1 pick in rookie dynasty drafts, like.
Yeah,
I mean, his upside for the next decade is so high. Like, he has the longest career out of anyone. But he probably won't have the best year this year. If you can get him as your second pick, I think that's great. I could see.
I didn't realize I was fading Achane. I didn't realize Achane's just turned 24.
Yeah, wow. That's why they didn't get rid of him. The Dolphins. He's like the only piece they kept.
Yeah, so I like him. Like, to me, the top 5 running backs for this dynasty draft would be, obviously, Gibbs and Bijan, a tier of their own. Then after that, I'm looking at Love, Genty, Hampton, and Achane. So that's top 6, but...
Totally. Yeah, I'm with you there.
But I like the wide receivers a lot at the top, and there's a lot of great running backs you can get mid-rounds, because...
Totally.
You can
and then that's my thing about, like, going young early, like... Guys like Devontae Adams, or like someone who is going to be a wide receiver 2 starter this year, you can get in like 90th pick overall. Yeah. Like these so you can't just go young, fill your late spots with just like guys who got 2 years left. But then it is such a balance because then you're drafting a guy who's like going to be off your team in 2 years instead of like an up and coming young guy. So I do get it. It's tough. It's going to be all over the place, like you said.
My other take about Dynasty before we switch to redrafts, this is a funny year to be starting a Dynasty because people think the 2027 rookie class is going to be amazing. I've already been digging into the rookies of next year because I'll be open to – I'm excited to make some trades during our draft.
Interesting.
Because we can make trades in our draft.
Oh, you're thinking a 2027 second first rounder. Yeah, that would be nice.
I would be, like, depending on who it is, and I'll say this when we get on the draft, like, if you want a guy, send me a text, because I'll start collecting 2027 picks.
I like that a lot. I like that.
I would even do pick swaps in this draft, because I love the later rounds of this draft. You know what I mean? If you're trying to jump up, give Emma a call. And I'm the commissioner, so I'll pause the draft so the trade can go through.
That's perfect. Yeah. I love it.
So that's a cool thing. We get to trade draft picks, trade during the draft. It should be fun.
I'm very excited.
Switching gears to general fantasy and redraft leagues. I've got some stayaways, some crushes, and I pulled a few names that I just don't know what to do with.
Very nice. I got a couple crushes I'm thinking about in my redraft.
Okay. What should we start with?
Crossover. Let's make sure we don't collide.
I put a lot of names down.
Okay, nice.
You want to start with your positive or your negative?
Yeah, I'll start with maybe my biggest
your crushes
crush in fantasy.
I know what you're gonna say.
Again, there's a big It's hard with these because it's like you need a rubric. Are we going off value? Like, my biggest crush can't be Jahmyr Gibbs. That's kind of like...
My biggest crush is Bijan Robinson.
a lot of this is incorporated, like where you can get them. They're, based on
Yes.
ADP too. That is a major part of it. Obviously, there's guys I would want ahead of this guy, but I think one of the best values currently in the draft is Omarion Hampton.
I knew you were going to say it, Amari Hampton.
There's something like, oh man, that makes a lot of sense that he could be really fucking good. Getting two of the best best O linemen in the league back, and just like the Shenanigans
Mike McDaniel.
offense, like, is he gonna put up McCaffrey numbers here? He's not a rookie anymore. Yeah, I'm into him. I think you're not paying like you might get him with your third pick. I would reach with your second. I'd be fine taking him with my second pick.
I will be shocked if you don't take him in our Dynasty League with your second pick. Like, I would be shocked.
That's true. I hadn't even really thought about Dynasty. Dynasty is going to be
It's
whoever
different,
comes to me. But redraft, I'm targeting him for sure.
Yeah, I've taken a lot of Hampton this summer during the draft process. I think he's great value. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to run the ball. I think everyone in that offense is a great value right now. So I'm going to go right off of that and say my draft crush is my guy I've been drafting for the last 2 years, Ladd McConkey. I think this is going to be a huge Ladd year.
I love it. Yeah. I think you could be right on there.
And he slipped down the board.
Insane. He's falling. Yeah, which I agree. I think that's wrong. I think there's enough to expect, like, Herbert will have more time in the pocket, running a better offense. Like,
Keenan Allen's not there anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Who, like, was old but still sucking up volume. And yeah.
Also, Ladd's good games were so good. I feel like we're misremembering it at some point. Like, he had really good games last year. It's just the lows were low. So I'm high on Ladd. I think the Mike McDaniel boost, Herbert with his line back, Keenan Allen gone, and you can get him in a 12-man, like the 5th or the 6th round. So
I know, that's amazing. I could see him easily being a top 10 wide receiver, just volume-wise.
100.
All right, should I go to one of my icks?
Yeah, we'll go to the icks.
All right, this guy, I'm just surprised how high on the board he still is. I feel like he falls every year, and this year I'm expecting the biggest fall we've seen from him if he doesn't move down before draft start. I'm going Chris Olave. I don't know. I just think...
I think people are high on Shuck.
Yeah, but they spent their first pick on a new wide receiver. I feel like it's just a sign, like they're trying to move on from Olave in some sense of him being the one. Like, I expect the least volume we've seen from Chris Olave his entire career, maybe.
For me, Chris Olave and Drake London are in this category for me where I just, like, never have ever been interested in drafting them.
Yeah, like,
I agree.
He could have been a, like, oh, he's an unsexy pick and he's going late and you can get him. But, like, you're still borderline drafting him as the Saints wide receiver 1 with an up-and-coming Shuck, and I don't think he's that.
I think Shuck's really good, but I think Olave at price right now. And also you got to look at. I have some Bears on my crushes list because who did that new head coach draft? Right, Kellen Moore drafted Jordan Tyson. He inherited Olave, and he inherited a very injury-prone Olave. And Jordan Tyson also has a bad injury history, but that's the guy that coach drafted to pair with his young quarterback. I'm fading Olave for sure. Last year, people got him in like the 10th round. Price is way too high.
Yeah, I'm with you, 100%. Steer clear.
Okay. My first ick, I was trying to go a little bit in draft order. I jumped on the Ladd one, though. But my first ick is, people are calling this their RB3, but this is my hot take. I'm staying away from CMC this year. The highs are so good, but if you look at the 49ers and McCaffrey is an every other year player, and his efficiency rushing was not good last year. The reason he won you your fantasy league is because of the pass catching. And now Mike Evans is in that offense, okay? He's not going to get those slot touches the way he used to, and he can't run the ball like he used to. He just can't.
I agree. Yeah. I think
the price is too hard.
It's hard for me to, every other year, because sometimes it's like, hey, maybe you should just listen to that. Like, if it's a trend, follow it, but you never know. Like, I could so easily see CMC being a top running back again. But I'm with you. I think it would be great if you could get him as your, second pick.
Oh, yeah, if he falls to me.
But I agree. You're still spending, a top 5 pick on him. That feels a lot. I'm with you.
I mean, we've talked about this throughout the summer. To me, there's an RB1 and an RB2 and then a huge cliff. So,
Yeah. All right. This
who's
is
your next crush?
this one probably won't surprise you either, but a lot of this I wasn't expecting to be all over this player, but he didn't hop up boards like I thought he would post July trade.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, baby. You might get him as your
He's
third guy. Like, there's a
yes.
world. I think he's definitely going to be a top 10 receiver. Like, I think he's a or better at his age than 1,000-yard Steph Diggs was last year. And, like, I just think,
Is it the knee? Like, is that what people are scared of?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Like, I think he is Drake May's guy. His volume is gonna be crazy. Our schedule's actually harder, which somewhat helps him. Like, we're not gonna be
Receivers.
blowing out teams like we were last year. I expect to be in a lot of close games.
Easy
So,
schedules help running backs. Hard schedules help receivers.
100%. Like, he'll be getting fourth quarter points for sure. Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah.
if he sticks around there, I agree. I don't know if I'd be taking him, like, in the teens as much as I would in, like, the 20s. But
I like him in the
if you can
20s
get
and
him in the
30s.
20s, yeah. And I think a part of it is, like, attitude issues last year were insane. Was even trying in some of those games, like, some... So, like, I
Yeah.
think there is... But I just expect him to be motivated on a new team, something new to prove, like... Yeah, I expect a big difference in how he plays on the Patriots.
Okay, my next crush is a twofer, and I'm calling it
Oh.
Ben Johnson's Guys.
Okay.
And this is especially, I would love to draft some Loveland, but the price is too high. Right now, I'm saying Kyle Monangai and Luther Burden as like a joint one at ADP. They're both going mid to late. And I think Luther Burden has a wide receiver one upside. I think Ben Johnson likes him more than Rome. And Kyle Monangai, I don't expect DeAndre Swift to be leading that backfield by December.
Totally. I like that one a lot. I think I struggle. Like, I've done a few mocks. I struggle when I get to that, like, Rome and
Rome versus Luther?
They're right next to each other. It's the classic, like, we don't know who's the one, basically.
And that was last year with
and
Rome and DJ.
when that happens, I tend to, like, kind of steer clear, because maybe neither of them is the one. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's spread out, and... But I agree, like, if it's Luther, you're getting insane value. I expect you to reach on Luther in Dynasty, honestly, a little bit, because he is also so young. Like, if he becomes Caleb's guy, but...
I'm hoping to get Loveland in Dynasty, to be honest. So, depending on how the board falls, I wouldn't take both. Because
Yeah,
the only way I'm taking Loveland is in Dynasty. In a redraft, it feels like way too much of a reach.
Yeah, I'm
But in Dynasty, maybe he's down this year, but he has next Travis Kelce upside. So I don't know, but I think Luther Burden is a great Dynasty value. Kyle Monangai is, but in general, these are great bench stashes.
Monangai, I
Stash them
love.
on your bench.
I feel like
Love
he came
him.
out of nowhere at the end of the year and was like, he's like a must start every game. Like, he kind of just
Yes.
became the guy, yeah.
But that was Luther Burden too. Luther Burden dropped a 45 bomb.
Yeah, that's insane,
So.
actually. Maybe I like him.
Yeah.
This is helpful. Maybe I'll take him over Rome. Now I know. All right, to my next ick.
Yeah.
This is a high pick last year. I think he has fallen for a lot of people, but still when he comes on my board, it's just like, no, I can't go there yet. And that is Bucky Irving. I think
Interesting.
he's had one of the highest volumes last year of guys that I just like. I mean, that's the other fantasy quote. Volume is king. Just follow the volume.
Yeah.
Bucky this year, like, even though his volume was good last year, I just think they added Kenneth Gainwell, who, let's be honest, he gains well. He was amazing in Pittsburgh.
You loved that.
They
You just
love
like-
him in Pittsburgh. I was surprised they got rid of him, but
Yeah.
Pittsburgh added Dowdle, so maybe that is a little upgrade. But Kenneth Gainwell was another guy last year in fantasy that, like, you could play all the time. I think
He became a
might
star.
be better than Bucky at this point. They
See,
seemed like I don't know.
I almost put Bucky on one of my crushes because I feel like his ADP is decent right now.
That's
if
true.
he
It
truly
is
is an
decent. Like,
RB1.
he has fallen. But I guess that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I expect Kenneth Gainwell to score more fantasy points, like, at least towards the end
Okay.
of the year than
I think Bucky's such a good pass catcher that in PPR leagues, which we play PPR leagues exclusively, I would totally fade Bucky in non-PPR leagues, but I think the
Interesting.
reception boost. I mean, part of it is the Bucks were such a disaster. Um,
Yeah, that's true too.
when they were doing well, was he doing well?
I mean, I don't know. He
I
was. I think you had to take him with your second pick last year. Like
he
no.
was
So
so
based on that, no, he was like not doing well.
he was someone who I was sad I didn't get any last year. Oh, he missed a lot of time
Yeah, he
last
had an
year.
injury too.
Okay, I like he had a before he had the injury though, 18-point game, 25-point game, 14 not as good. Came back and was irrelevant. He was pretty good at the start of the season.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I could see people going either way with him, but that's a guy that I'm just not drafting this year. I think
You're
Kenneth
just
Gainwell
saying.
is too good coming in, of like a guy who has kind of proven himself, and like I think it's at least going to be split. I don't want to, but I guess
Yeah.
that's true. If you get him as like the first guy on your bench, I'd feel good about that.
I'm not in love with Bucky, but I would be shocked if I didn't have some Bucky on a roster by September.
That's fair. I don't
Not
know why I
maybe.
went with
And
that
I also
either.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I just think he's good value and also I think Kenny Gainwell was good, but I think Bucky Irving 2 years ago was so good that
Yeah,
there's
that's true.
upside there. My next stay away, Tyler Warren. So I just
Okay,
feel like the
my next one's a
you
tight
like
end. Yeah.
okay. So yours is going to be Kelsey, which he's going so late that's not even a stay away.
No, 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 no.
Um,
Crush.
oh, yours is a crush. Okay, my thing about Tyler Warren is I don't think the Colts are going to be as good this year, and I don't know who the quarterback is, and I think Achilles is a 2 year injury. So I just think the price is so high for Tyler Warren right now.
Mm.
It's more of a price thing. I think he's a great player. It's just really high.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I guess I'll do my. This is kind of a. I'll do them both at the same time, but tight end is interesting this year. Last year, I drafted Bowers and was
Yeah.
miserable. I was basically like, I'll never draft another tight end early
And
in
you were like
fantasy.
irrelevant because of that pick.
Which is why I struggle with these feelings popping up. This little crush I'm getting on my boy Brock Bowers. And I get that's not a hot take because he's the. But
He's
he's
like the
going
best.
two in some. Like, he might go second to Trey McBride because McBride had such a big year. But I guess my
Yeah.
ick is McBride. I think he's not repeating that on this bad Cardinals team. I think he was pretty, like, had so many touchdowns and, like, his numbers, I think, even if he's still an amazing player and still good, like, his numbers will come down a bit. And I just think Brock with Clint Kubiak, hopefully Mendoza for a while, like, and Mendoza's
Yeah.
a rookie. He might be dishing it short to Bowers all the time. Like, I struggle if I'm going to actually use that pick on him because he might just get
It's
hurt
high.
again. Yeah, he really hasn't dropped much, and you're still paying for that injury risk when, like, you maybe shouldn't be. So I am very conflicted with him, but this year
You got
I
the you
either
got the
go
butterflies.
for I either go for Bowers yet again, and I do what I said I wasn't gonna do, which is so classic, or I'm with you. I'm out on Warren. I'm honestly out on Loveland. I think he's way too high, and like his first 8
Oh
weeks
really?
last year were terrible. Like he was He was like the tight end
I
70 first like 2 months of the season. I get it was like he was young and maybe he's better. I'm not. I think he's going too high for like what I know he's gonna do.
I don't know. I'm in on Loveland specifically for Dynasty because it's not just about this year and looking
Yes, me
about
too. I would much prefer him in Dynasty.
yeah, looking at Laporta with Ben Johnson, I think, and I think Loveland is like a Travis Kelsey type, and Tyler Warren's like a George Kittle type. Like he's
Totally.
a little more gritty blocking, whereas Loveland has like he's like a wide receiver. So that's why I'm in on Loveland. What you said about Bowers though, McBride, I agree that McBride can't repeat it. I think Carson Beck is going to be a starting quarterback, and Beck doesn't throw to the tight ends as much as he throws to wide receivers. I with Bowers. I like him in Dynasty. I like him in Redraft. I love him in Dynasty as Mendoza grows with him.
100%.
Yeah, I could see Bowers having like an insane year. And just like if you have Bowers, you just have a cheat code. Your tight end's going to score 25 points.
Yeah. I mean, I do think I would have to be pretty disappointed, I think, with where the board is at when it gets to me for that pick to take Bowers, just because I do, like, you see rookie tight ends, people we don't even know the names of, all of a sudden, like, you can be active on the waivers and get your starting tight end almost every year if you're like on top of it. But
Yeah.
so it's like a lot to spend. Like if I can get Hampton or somebody in a similar like around that 20th turn spot, I'm probably gonna do it and avoid Bowers, and then I'm gonna fully wait until like 90, 100th, 110 to even really go for a tight end. I think that's my plan.
I like Fannin this year more than those guys in that like middle tier.
Interesting. Yeah,
You don't?
I just get scared. I don't want to watch.
You don't know who the court?
I
Yeah,
don't
you don't
want
know
to
who
watch
the
the
quarterback
Browns
is.
games, and I just like I'm sure he'll have great games. Yeah.
My next crush, I also have complicated feelings about because I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna amount to winning, but I think there could be some garbage points in there with a really good play calling head coach and a rushing upside. And I'm talking about Kyler Murray at ADP. Go get him with your last pick in the draft.
Yeah. 100%. I like that.
Yeah, I just think he could have some garbage rushing upside. Just like, I don't think the Vikings are going to be good, but I think that doesn't necessarily equate fantasy points. So I like Kyler a lot, especially in redrafts.
100%. I like that. I think Kyler is. We'll know in a month if it's like, oh shoot, why was Kyler like irrelevant going into this year
Yeah.
fantasy wise? Like, I mean, I remember I won a league when he was on the Cardinals and was like right before he got paid. Like, he can produce fantasy numbers at a high level, at a top 10 level for sure.
And
So,
he has Justin Jefferson. Like,
yeah,
that's
and all of a
a
sudden
cheat
he has
code.
maybe the best receiver in the league and like a really good regular
And
season
a
head
great-
coach at least.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I
Who
think
is
that's
your-
really smart.
Who's your last ick?
So I did a couple groups here. I guess my icks this year, I learned my lesson last year. I'm going to say I get tempted every year because their value is always like, oh, they're not going where they maybe like should be. And that's rookie running back.
That's when you hit on
Specifically
Tyreek last year.
Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. Like, I'm gonna
Oh, I
want
like
to do
Price.
it. I know. I want to like Price too, but this is maybe more of a in my brain, like, don't do it. Just because rookie running backs never actually produce the way you think they are going to in terms of fantasy numbers. Like, you're always like, why is it a little bit more of a committee for the first 8 weeks of the season than I
Price
wanted it
is
to
going
be?
late, though.
I guess that's true. Yeah, if you can get Price on like a flyer. I mean, what is late? Where is Price going? It's not that late.
Like mid to late rounds, and that could be an RB1.
That's true. I think he'll need to be one of your starters.
He'll pop up.
I think to get him. You're not going to get him on your bench. If you can, I guess that's great. But
I mean,
specifically Love. Again, I don't like the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from him. Maybe not in Dynasty. We'll see. But like, yeah,
I know you want him
never.
for Dynasty.
Genty wasn't as good. Even last year with like R.J. Harvey, Travion Henderson. Even these like kind of where Price might be going. Those like mid round like. These guys might be the next Alvin Kamara.
That's
or, like,
true.
Amazing. It's like they weren't even close. Like,
The team I drafted with rookie running backs last year won, 3 games? Like,
exactly. That's kind of my point. Like, Jadarian Price is a little bit sexy for his value.
I like Price.
It is, yeah, and
I'm gonna be
Walker's gone.
looking.
Charbonnet's coming off an injury. Like, oh, is he just going to be the one on the Super Bowl?
He might be.
Defending champs? I doubt it.
I'm looking at Price in Dynasty. I'm looking at Price in redrafts. But I don't like taking rookie running backs high, but I love taking flyers on rookie running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather have a bench running back who isn't going to do anything for the first month than like some wide receiver 4 who's going to go off some weeks and not others. Like, I want that stock value on my bench and redraft too. Like, it's nice to have that running back who all of a sudden you check your phone and he just dropped 22 points out of nowhere.
Totally.
So.
Yeah.
I like that stay away. My last one is not an ick. It's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you 3 wide receivers that I don't know what to do with and ask what you think we should do with them.
Okay.
Number 1, Malik Neighbors. Number 2, Rashee Rice. And number 3, Nico Collins.
Easiest answer of my life. Stay away
Don't
from
draft
all 3 of them.
all
I'm
of them?
not really interested in any of the 3. Like, I think Rice is too high for me to. I like the guys
He's
around
high.
him more. Neighbors, I'm a fan of.
Stay away.
Yeah. Again, he's too high. If he was like in the 30s because he's injured every year, and like the injury news on him is awful still. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I don't.
confused if
The
he's
injury news
ever
is
gonna be the
bad.
same. Yeah, like so if you could have got him in like the 40th pick or something because everyone's scared of him, yeah, maybe. If he falls 10 spots, maybe it's
The
like a
injury
fuck
news
it.
is getting worse on him.
Yeah. I'm staying away. At their all those current ADPs, I won't be drafting any of those players.
I wasn't interested in Rice at all until I looked at his numbers from last year, and if he played the full season, he would have had 1,300 yards
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
that pace. And we haven't seen him play a full season, so
That's true,
I'm
but
in.
like, yeah, I guess you also have. Is Mahomes going to be the same guy he's been for the entire? I agree, Mahomes will be good again by week 7, week 8. I just
Yeah,
don't
the
know,
September,
like,
October.
yeah, they're going to run it more. They added a running back, was like your biggest addition in free agency. I don't know. I agree. There's just too many variables for me to take him with my second pick, I think.
My thing about Rice is we need a volume guy who will step up, and if he's willing to like assume that role, the Chiefs will give him that role. You know what I mean? If he can handle it, like
Totally.
he's primed and ready to be a top 10 receiver if he
Yeah,
wants
I
it.
agree. I mean, I expect him to go in the second round. I just don't think I would
Yeah.
take him. I would take him in the third round. If I have like a
Oh,
wide receiver and a running back I feel good about and he's falling, 100%.
yeah. And for me, Nico Collins, I had him 2 years ago and loved it. He was fantastic. He was like a reason I was a 1 seat, but last year, not so good.
You had him for
And
a little bit last year.
oh, and then I traded him away. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah,
then
yeah.
I won the championship. So that's true. Like, maybe I'm undervaluing Nico, but I don't actually know his ADP off the top of my head.
It's like round 2.
That's right by Rashid, yeah. So then I think I'm
Yeah.
staying away. Like, I don't feel comfortable. If I go running back first, I don't feel comfortable with Nico being my best wide receiver, honestly.
Yeah, I don't trust Stroud enough. I don't know if Stroud is a Texan in 2 years. So,
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I guess they don't know. They would have paid him, so they don't either.
oh, yeah. Oh, what a marathon pod today. We covered so much.
I know. I'm wiped, but I'm ready.
I'm
We gotta just
wiped.
get there.
Yo, our Dynasty draft is in 2 weeks, so I'm sure we'll be talking about it again the next episode. And I'm thinking the next episode we'll be doing a redraft mock.
I like that. I like that.
First 6
Two-person mock will
rounds.
be good. Yeah. Every other pick.
Yeah. No, no, no. The computer does the other picks,
Oh, okay. Against a CPU. Okay.
but we each have slots.
We should have 8 guests on. Do
8 guests? Wow.
do a full 10-man mock. No,
Do we
I'm just
have
kidding.
8 people we can
I don't think we
trust?
could. Too way too much to coordinate. Hell no.
But thank you guys for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the fantasy content and hearing a little bit about why we hate lists.
I'm excited to we'll have to do a vote after our dynasty draft. Who's got the better team?
Honestly, 100%. I can't wait for it to be
Yeah.
me. You're
I'm
going to
looking
build
forward
for the
to that.
future. I'm building for now, baby. I'm building for
Maybe
now.
I just want you to think that. I don't know. I like
Okay.
the old guys. I like age.
Oh, yeah, I love a Mike Evans first pick.
I want Rodgers.
Thank you guys for listening. Give us a like and a comment.